Your mind does.
Right, Josh?
Yeah, your heart just pumps blood.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom out there.
Praises to the Most High.
Praise the Most High. This is a beautiful Wednesday evening.
You bring what you want. I'm just going to speak for a while.
We're going to just talk about the truth a little bit tonight, some elements of knowledge that we have. We thank the Most High, Ahayah, Barak, bahashem, Yashayah, for the blessing of the knowledge that He's given us. And we also do thank the Most High for another day on this earth. So, go on.
All right.
I'll read for you.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. You can bring just about what you want tonight. I just want to. I'm Brother Pat. This is Josh, Tony, and my wife Mary. We're voiceover watchmen. Really, really blessed to be on the network to share truth. I want to share tonight with you just for a few minutes, if you're patient to listen to truth. Especially if there's any Christians out there that have been through this, and I'm sure there's many of you have been through this. We know this for a fact, that a man who's married to a wife, a woman, if that man decides to divorce that woman for any reason, which God hates putting away, he cannot get married again until that woman is dead, until she dies. Same for the woman. If a woman wants to leave the man, she cannot get married again until that man dies. But don't tell the church that. So here it is. And this is not philosophy. This is what's going on. We've studied the rings that married people wear when they get married in an institution, like I did. Pagan rings, these round rings. They don't symbol your faithfulness. They don't symbol nothing but paganism. If that's not true, you just look at the church, right there, Tony?
Yeah.
Divorce, I think, just as much as the world today now, and maybe more. Maybe more. Okay. Why? Here's two beautiful people totally in love with each other, a man and woman. They walk into a Christian church. They have no rings on. And here comes the gospel. They start going back to the pastor. These people are living together. The word say, what does the word say, Josh? That once you touch each other, right, physically, you're married. You don't need a pastor or a rabbi or a priest to marry you. And we can read that. And we can prove it.
Let's go. Turn to Deuteronomy.
Go to Deuteronomy.
22.
We can prove that.
Deuteronomy 22.
And I'm going to explain to you for a few minutes. I want you to listen close what the pastor does. He causes fornication and adultery in his own church because he's unlearned. I'm not judging the pastor. I'm not pointing fingers at you, but you listen.
I'll read, when you get it, we'll read verse 28 and 29. 28, actually, just 28. According to the Bible.
22:28, Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy 22 and 28 reads,
Listen.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lay with her, they be found, then the man that have laid with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all the days of his life.
Okay. Did Josh just read that they had to get married? And we have a lot more scriptures than that.
So we understand.
How about it's on the Van dictionary? That really explains it, right, Josh? Don't we have it in there too? Okay. So if you have to get it, get it. All right. So here comes get to that Matthew thing, if you can find it, okay?
Romans chapter 7.
All right, read that.
Let's go. Turn to Romans 7, everybody.
Romans 7. I'm going to go on with this story. This is what the pastors are doing. It's a true evil story. It's evil. Pastors should know better. Many don't. I don't blame them because they're in Christianity. They're in a false religion.
No. 7.
Does the Most High forgive divorce? Yes. But you're supposed to stay single. You can't marry another woman after you got divorced, unless your wife is dead. If she's passed.
Know ye not, brethren, that I speak to them which know the law, but that the law hath dominion over a man,
Come on.
as long as he liveth? For the woman which hath a husband is bound by the law.
Bound. And the law is not done away with. Go ahead.
To her husband as long as she lives.
Go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
But if the husband be dead,
if he dies,
she is loose from the law of her husband. So then if while her husband liveth, she is married to another, she shall be called an adulteress.
Stop. You know what that really means? If you're not listening close, every time you have sex with your wife, when you know your husband's alive and you're a woman, you have sex with another man, you got to repent. And that's living in sin. That's living in continual sin, right, Tony? You got to keep repenting.
She shall be called an adulteress, but if her husband be dead, she is free from the law of her, from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man.
Okay. She's not an adulteress if her husband's dead. Now here's the rest of the story. They come in, they're totally in love. People start talking, they go to the pastor, like these two are living together, and they don't have rings on. They're not married. So the pastor calls them in the office. He says, you know, you're really nice people, I met you, but I don't see any rings on your finger. He's married? No, we're totally in love with each other. We live together. Well, the church says that the pastor has to marry you. Now they get a little discouraged, and then on top of it, here comes the second bomb. Now you have to separate until you get married. You can't have sex. So we're going to read that in the Zondervan, right? So now he caused a major problem with them. They're totally in love. The pastor's out of order. They're in love. Now they're forced to be separated, Tony. Mm-hmm. Now she has to live by herself, and he's got to leave her.
Matthew chapter 19.
All right, Matthew chapter 19. I'll finish the story in a little while. True story. What pastors are doing. Most of them are deceived. They don't realize what they're doing.
Matthew 19, verse 3.
You mean that Jesus loved you, John? Sure, he loves you. The Bible says thou shalt not thou shalt do it when you want to. Go ahead.
The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that that he which made them in the beginning made them male and female? Male and female. That goes against what America's trying to do.
Go ahead.
Huh.
Wow, read that again, Josh. I think
that he made them male and female.
Uh-oh.
Come on. No, that's a typo.
No, that's Stephen, Joe. It's okay.
And said, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and the twain shall be one flesh.
Cleave to his boyfriend, and they can live together.
cleave unto his wife, and the two shall be the twine shall be one flesh.
Therefore, so what Ahayah has brought together, don't you dare try to break it up.
What they
wow, that's it. That's it. Says it right there.
Wherefore they are no more twine, but one flesh.
Go ahead.
Therefore the Most High hath joined together, let no man
joined
put
together.
asunder.
What's this? Wait. What he's joined together, not going to a church and getting married. That's not marriage. Two people can be in love and have sex. They're married. Now you come between them and you break them up.
Verse 7. They said unto him, why did Moses command to give a writing of divorcement?
Well, the word will break it up. What are you telling me? The word will back it. What we're saying. Go ahead, Josh.
They said unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement to put her away? He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered
because of the law.
Because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put her away. Put away your wives.
Wow.
But from the beginning it was not so.
Look at that, from the beginning. Now, where did Josh just read that they had to have rings on?
And
have a
wherefore shall ye put her? Wherefore shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication?
Stop. I want to explain that.
And
wait, I had a problem with that, but this bishop was right when I was very young in Christianity. But he was right at that time, 20 years ago. He told me. He says, no, Pat. He says, if you separate with your wife because of you cheated or she cheated, you got to get help, except fornication. Then come together and get help so you don't get divorced and restore your marriage.
Marry, fornication, marry another, committeth adultery, and whoso marrieth her with which is put away doth commit adultery.
Read it again. Read it again. I'll finish the story. From the beginning. Read it, Mary. Wait, listen.
Whosoever shall put away his wife.
Then when you try to divorce your wife, go ahead.
Except if it be for fornication.
Except for like a problem with your marriage. Go ahead. Wait, in between now, what my wife's reading, you're supposed to get help, then come together. Go ahead, Mary.
And shall marry another.
Wait, you stopped getting help. Now you married another. You didn't listen like the Christian church is doing. Go ahead.
Committed adultery.
That's right.
And whosoever marries her which is put away.
Come on.
Does commit adultery.
What does the Bible say? Thou shalt, whenever you want, Tom?
No,
thou shalt not. Thou shalt not commit adultery. What's this? Now they're in the office. They got to separate. Now they're looking at each other. You know, I really love this church and I love the people here. Why can't I stay together with you? Well, he says we have to be married. See, these are people unlearned, even the pastors. They're married. Now watch. You step in, pastor, and you tell these people that they have to have a ceremony, they have to go to school, they have to learn the marriage, all this. What scriptures are you giving them? Because they sure ain't in here. There's got to be some kind of philosophy you gave them. Now they're brokenhearted. They were having great sex. They were married, right? Now, watch this. Now they get discouraged. She ends up breaking up with him most of the time. And she marries a man that the wife is still alive and she marries him. And don't tell me that's not going on in the church. It is. Not with a lot of churches, but most churches. So you see what the pastor does? He's forcing adultery on his church. Not his whole church, but some people. So I just wanted to share that tonight. I want to let you know. Well, Mary, get Mary.
The love, though.
Well, Mary?
It poisons the church later on, though.
Yeah, it causes a lot of misery. The law will never be done away with. Yashayah said, where you standing, Josh, on the earth? Where you looking up in the daytime, in the sky? Until that disappears, the law is here.
Right.
If the church doesn't get right now and bring the law back, and the 10 Commandments, and all the statutes, and Sabbath, feasts, holy days, look at our society.
Holy days.
Yeah, look at our society. We have a society, right, Tony?
Yeah.
Out of control. We have a lawless society today because of the church.
So that's right.
So you ought to keep the Sabbath. You ought to keep the holy days. You ought to keep the feast days. You're not supposed to eat pork. Christianity is a filthy, dirty, lying religion. If I knew this long ago, I would have never, ever walked in that church. But now we know better, don't we, Josh? We don't even want to hear people on television. It's sickening what I hear. Sickening. Dollar, he don't know the Bible. Jakes, they don't know the Bible. And they're told not to tell their church. But but they know who the black people in their church are, but they won't tell them. Dollar tells his church they're Africans. They're Gentiles. Since when is a Hebrew a Gentile, Josh?
That's right.
There were no Gentiles on the day of Pentecost. You better read your Bible. Read it, Josh, in Acts. Read it. From devout men from all. Yeah, read that. Read that, Josh. There were no, we're just going to get off a little on something else. We're just going to share it tonight. Read that, Josh, in Acts.
Acts 2.
Yeah, when they came to, there were no Gentiles that day. So now the Christian church claims on Pentecost, the Gentiles took over the church. So they can worship on Sunday now. That's the biggest lie you'll ever listen to. I think Acts 2. Is it 2, Josh? Acts 2?
Acts 2.
Acts 2, Mary. Go to Acts 2. Now, hold on.
And
Get the Bible off the shelf and read it for yourself.
2 where?
2:5.
Okay.
Now listen. There's no such thing as tongues.
And there were
dwelling
in Jerusalem Jews.
who?
Jews.
What?
No, Gentiles.
Jews.
Jews. Who is dwelling there, Mary?
Jews.
Okay.
Devout men.
Devout men.
Of every nation.
Every nation. That means, wait, every tongue. Every different language. Not dabba 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 do.
Now when it was noise abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded because they heard every man heard them speak in his own language.
No, in
his own language.
Right.
They were all amazed.
There were just different languages.
And marveled, saying,
no anything spiritual about
one
it.
to another, behold, are not all these that speak Galileans?
And how,
good. Come on.
How hear we every man in our own tongue?
In our own what?
Tongue.
What?
Language.
Wherein we were born.
Nationality. Right?
Yep.
Parthians, Medes,
Elamites,
and the dwellers of Mesopotamia, and in Judea, and Cappadocia, and Pontus, and Asia, Pamphylia, Perga.
Stop. When a pastor asks you, a Christian, to go back in the back room and have these pastors lay hands on you to receive the gift of tongues, they're giving you an evil spirit. You better run out of there.
Pamphylia, and in Egypt, and in parts of Libya, and Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes, Armenian, we do all hear them speak in our tongue the wonderful works of the Most High.
Stop. Now watch. This phenomenon happened because there were all different nations and languages in Jerusalem at that day.
And they were all Jews.
Right. So it was a great opportunity for the disciples to tell them about the Most High. So if you read on, it's just what you're going to read.
So essentially,
Peter standing up, the first preacher.
The Most High.
Stood up. No good.
And
no, go ahead, Josh.
And I'll just read a little about what you just said.
Oh, all right.
Look at verse 14. Let's read a little bit.
What happened?
But Peter, standing with the 11,
Stop. He stood up. He's the first man that ever stood up to preach for the Most High. But Stephen was
after he died. Yeah, he was the first preacher
But Stephen died before Peter? No.
on Pentecost.
Later, right?
After
Stephen died later, Anthony, or before?
Yeah, well, whenever Pentecost was.
No, when did Stephen die?
after.
So he was the first man who stood up to preach the real true word.
Lifted up his voice and
To
said
all
unto them,
nations.
Ye men of Judah, and all that dwell at Jerusalem, be it known unto you, and hearken unto my words. For these are not drunken, as ye were supposed, seeing that is but the third hour of the day. But this is that which is spoken by the prophet Joel. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Most High, I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh, and upon your sons and daughters, your sons and daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And of my servants and my handmaids will I pour out of my spirit, and they shall prophesy, and I will wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire, vapor and smoke.
All right.
And the sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Most High.
Could vapor smoke, could be the missiles, Josh, and things blowing up? Or is there something more
So
spiritual?
all that was happening was the Most High was giving these apostles tongues so they could tell the Jews that were in Jerusalem the truth. They weren't speaking and running around in circles, gibbering off some gibberish that no one knows.
I'm going to say it again. Christianity is a made-up pagan religion. That's why there's so many Afro-Americans and Puerto Ricans and all the tribes of Israel stuck, poisoned in Christianity.
So now let's go to Psalms 104, verse 3.
All right, Psalms 104, verse 3. Psalms 104, verse 3. I got it. I'll read this, Mary. Hey, dinner was good.
104.
Verse 3. Okay, and when everybody has it, say praise him. Psalms 104, verse 3. You have it? Tony?
Yeah.
Psalms 104, verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters.
Wait a minute. He layeth his beams in the waters.
Beams? So anything that's on a beam cannot spin.
Wow, wait a minute. Wow. Hold up.
Wait. Say that. Wait, I think you lost that. Anything that's on beams. You see the pictures of Greece? What's that beautiful thing, that old thing, Tony? What do you call that?
The Pantheon.
Yeah, yeah. What are they on, Tony? They're on beams. You don't see them spinning, do you?
Uh-huh. Read.
Who layeth the beams of the chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind.
So the Most High has chariots or clouds. Now let's go to Ezekiel 1.
Ezekiel 1. Huh. 1:4, Josh.
1:4.
Ezekiel. Take your time. 1:4. You see how Christian pastors lie and tell you that they know the Bible? They will not ever admit that, even black people, that black, Afro, black, Hebrew, Israelites wrote this book.
Right. Ezekiel 1:4.
And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind. Oh, you want me to wait, Mary? And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself,
Mm-hmm.
like engulfing. and a brightness was about it.
So if we look at this, this is a description of what the world and science and people would refer to as a UFO. Read.
And out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire.
Also, out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures.
Uh-huh.
And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and every one had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot,
Uh-huh.
and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
So these angels were black.
Okay, good, awesome, John.
Now let's go to Zechariah 5.
Zechariah. Oh, Zechariah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Zechariah. Right before Malachi, I think, right? What is it, Zechariah where?
5.
5. I'll read this, honey. All right, 5 where, Josh? The flying roll. Zechariah 5. Ready? From the beginning?
Yep.
Then sorry, man. Zechariah 5, verse 1. The candlestick and the olive trees.
Read.
Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the cause that goeth forth over the face. Curse, right?
Uh-huh.
This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. Look at that. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side, according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side, according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Most High of Hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief.
So when we hear about all these forest fires starting out of nowhere, these forest fires are being started by UFOs.
Wow.
The Most High is using his vehicles to judge the earth. Read.
Awesome, Josh.
I will bring it forth.
A little louder, Mary.
I will bring it forth, saith the Most High of Hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that
Sweareth
falsely
by my name.
By my name. And
Wow,
it-
watch out, stop. Wow. Him that sweareth falsely by my name. They use that name, all these different God names. You know what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Mary.
Right.
And it shall remain in the midst of his house.
Judgment's going to stay.
And shall consume it with the timber.
The
thereof,
trees.
Wow.
Mm.
And the stones thereof. So no matter what your house is built with, the best wood in the world and stones, it's going down.
We can finish reading. Read.
All right. The woman in the ephod. Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes and see what is this that goeth forth. And I said, What is it? And he said, This is an ephod that goeth forth. He said, Moreover, this is their resemblance through all the earth.
So this symbol that would come out of these boxes would be a symbol of a nation in the earth that everyone would be able to notice and recognize. Read.
And behold, there was lifted up a town of lead. And this is a woman.
This is a what?
This is a woman.
A what?
A woman
Read.
that sitteth in the midst of the ephod.
So in the midst of the boxes, they found in 1876, the French shipped
Come on.
this very thing that we are reading out of the book of Zechariah to America to celebrate the centennial of America, the 100-year
And
anniversary.
that's how they sent it, in boxes.
Read.
And he said, this is wickedness.
This is
And-
wickedness.
And he cast it into the midst of the ephod.
Wait, no. This is a blessing to America, the statue.
No.
And he
Read.
cast it into the midst.
And he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof.
Then lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, there came out 2 women, and the wind was in their wings. For they had wings like the wings of a stork. And they lifted up the ephod between the earth and the heaven. That must be helicopters, right, Judge? Planes. Then said I to the angel that talked with me, whether do these here bear, the ephod, there it is. And he said unto me, to build it a house in the land of America, Shinar. And it shall be established and set there upon her own base. They built a base for this thing, America. They knew it was coming, right? A gift. And they had that big base built, Tony.
So
And we've been a cursed nation since that thing came here. Even before.
So we're just going to say, hopefully everyone has a good rest of the week until the Shabbat on Friday and on Saturday. We do hope the Most High blesses every one of you, and Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.